Lads, gather round now. Pull up a chair, grab a pint, and let me tell you the curious tale of little Ronnie and the giant. Hey! Well, down in Cape Town Parliament, beneath the cameras bright, a minister stepped boldly up to lecture wrong from right. Ronnie waved his finger high with all the wisdom he assumes, then tripped upon his own big words and crashed across the room. He called across the ocean wide to 70 million souls, declared them all barbarians with hearts as black as coal. He thundered they deny the rights all decent folks demand, then accidentally mocked himself before the whole damn land. Human rights for humans, well, who else would they be for? The goldfish and the parakeets, the donkey at the store. Human rights for humans, a genius takes the floor. He opens up his mouth so wide his boot comes flying out once more. Now Ronnie climbed the ladder fast, though no one quite knows how. Perhaps the ANC was drunk when they anointed him somehow. From justice to foreign affairs they proudly gave promotion, as every speech he makes creates a fresh diplomatic commotion. He spins tall tales and nonsense lines with confidence absurd. Half the pub starts laughing before he's finished every word. The journalists keep writing it, the diplomats all groan, while Ronnie keeps on rambling like a bagpipe badly blown. Human rights for humans, raise another pint and cheer. The deeper that the lad thinks, the less sense we all hear. Human rights for humans, the philosophy profound, like a rooster giving lectures while he's pecking at the ground. Oh, brave little Ronnie marched up to the mic to wrestle the giant America. But the giant just blinked and scratched his great chin, while Ronnie kept shouting hysteria. He called them racists, villains too, with outrage loud and grand. But half the world just tilted heads and asked, what's wrong with this man? Aye. Fill it up again, boys! Every pub from Cork to Joburg laughs into their beer. Whenever Ronnie gives a speech, the punchline soon appears. For every mighty giant needs a comic little foe, and Ronnie plays the part so well wherever winds may blow. Still, perhaps we should thank the lad for all the joy he brings, for few men turn diplomacy into comedy routines. He may not grasp philosophy or history or facts, but Saints above he gives the pubs material by the stacks. Human rights for humans, sing it loud and sing it clear. If wisdom were a whiskey shot, Ronnie'd still want beer. Human rights for humans, the scholars all applaud, for no one else could make a phrase sound quite so strange and odd. Human rights for humans, now lift your mugs once more and pray the next great speech he gives ain't dumber than before. Ronnie lad, next round's on the philosopher.
Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. It's Sunday, May 31st, 2026. Welcome back to the program. Yeah, that was in honor of Ronald Lamola. Busy putting his foot in his mouth. That little song, Little Ronnie. Welcome back on a Sunday. It's the Sunday edition of Chris Wyatt Reports. Pleasure to have you back. You know, I just had a few moments to think about all of the nasty people out there and just how sad their lives must be. People who lie and spread rumors. You must have a very bad existence that you would want to do that. And there are a number of those people out there. It's really sad. By the way, my Chinese clock is falling further and further behind. It's now 3 minutes behind. I haven't fixed the time in like a month, and just that quickly. I have to look and see if there's some setting I can adjust on there. But it definitely is losing time. But it's a lovely color, even though it doesn't work properly. Anyway, you're going to Indiana, okay? Congratulations. All right, cool beans. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, the 31st. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so yes, as one person recently told me, I'm all about the money. So let's just talk about that. We are on the verge of surpassing last month's low amount for revenue on the channel. And there's a good start to it. Snippets just gave 14 Rand Super Chat. Bonsoir, Colonel. Comment vas-tu? I'm going very well. But did we say we could use the informal? No, I'm just kidding. It's going very well. Yeah, so busy Sunday as always. And it's going to be even busier. I'll have to go spend time with the Veterans Organization later today. We had a big drop-off. The day before we had nearly 100,000 views, and yesterday we're down to 52,000. Big drop-off because the rugby only had one thing on. So anyway, yeah, as far as I didn't put a goal in. Maybe we should put a goal in, but we are within like just a few dollars of catching last month's low total. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, with the revenue. Because remember, it's all about the money. Yeah, it's not about providing a service. It's funny. These people who whine about this stuff, I don't see them out there, you know, complaining about General Mills or BMW or Toyota or Sasol making money. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to all of you. Sharon Gosselin, thank you for the 35 Rand. Let me turn on the alerts. That's are turned off because we had interviews. There you go. The alerts are back on. And Merlo, thank you for 140 Rand. There you go. Right, let's go ahead and get to this news that I want to talk about here, folks. So I need to get that back up on the screen. And we've got quite a bit. I need to make a video a little bit later, and I haven't had a chance to do that. I did make a short about the behavior of the Democratic Alliance, which is really sad. Jasper says, you just do you. People like to talk, let them talk. Yeah, but it has an impact. It's ever since the hate wanker claimed that he got the NOS things turned off, you can't just ignore these people. You have to address them sometimes. Your account got hacked and they spent 560 of your money. Well, that's very cheap thieves then. 560. I guess you got to shut off in time. Bafana's departure is delayed. Mackenzie slams South African Football Association over the visas. We were made to look like fools. Well, that's because you don't pay attention to what's important. Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Gate Mackenzie, slam SAFA for an administrative bungle. Bafana will leave from Mexico on Monday instead of Sunday as planned, due to several players and a member of the technical team not getting their visas in time. This is part of a growing list of administrative bungles by the association that have tarnished their image and put Bafana in a tight spot. They're supposed to leave South Africa for Pachuca, where they'll be based during the tournament. However, these plans had to be shelved with some players and a senior member of the technical team without visas. Now, the only thing I'm shocked about here is somehow the Democratic Alliance hasn't found a way to blame the Freedom Front Plus for somehow failing to get visas for the Bafana team to come to America. That's a short. I got to do a short. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news from South Africa's parliament where the lead speaker, the chief whip for the Democratic Alliance, has criticized Peter Groenewald for failing to get visas for the United States for Bafana. Yes, the Minister of Corrections failed to get these visas for our boys, Bafana. Last night, a meteor exploded over northern Massachusetts. We understand that Peter Groenewald, the former leader of the Freedom Front Plus and now Minister of Corrections, was responsible for this. Apparently, the absconded 28,000 parolees were part of the meteor exploding over Massachusetts. That's not funny. The SAFA travel and visa debacle is embarrassing and grossly unfair towards the players. Well, it also shows how the Ministry of Sports, Arts, and Culture doesn't even know its job. Yep. SAFA also failed to book the High Performance Center in Pretoria in time ahead of Bafana's appearance at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. Well, maybe you should stop hiring equity employment and get competent people to work for the South African Football Association. I'm just saying. What about the Blue Origin rocket explosion? That news is 2 days old. We've covered it. Next. Durko has stepped in. Ooh, Ronnie Lamola's on the scene, folks. Yes. To help Bafana players in visa mess delays. Sports Minister Mackenzie tells SAFA to sort out travel debacle. Look, it's the transformed South African soccer team. Only one whitey in the mix. Only one whitey. There we go. We've got our quota met. There you go. Out of 22 players, one is white. Yes, that would mean that 2.5% of the team, 2% of the team is white. Yes, well below the white population of South Africa. But that's our quota. The Department of International Relations Cooperation has engaged the U.S. to assist some Bafana Bafana players and technical team members to get their visa. Why are you engaging the U.S.? They can't go to Mexico. It's not the U.S. Look at this. Now we're talking about the U.S., but it's Mexico where they got to go. DERCO spokesperson Chris Wyatt said Sunday issue was an administrative one and had received their attention. It is a matter that we engage, but it's an administrative issue between staff and the U.S. consulate, not a diplomatic one. We're trying to assist this. They were scheduled to go to Mexico. So the visa is with Mexico, not with America. Do you see that? You see that? They try to tarnish America over a visa issue with Mexico. Mexico, not Estados Unidos. No, Estados Unidos. No, Mexico. Seriously? Shardon Goslin, thank you for 140 rand. Seriously. Jasper says, we love you, sir, and your price, anything else will be a MasterCard. So look at this story in the Times Live. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a problem with the visas coming to the U.S. That may very well be the case. But the story at hand is not the visas in the U.S. They didn't give visas to leave today to go to Mexico, not Estados Unidos. No, it wasn't for us. It wasn't for us. It was for Mexico. Yet Chris Wyatt attacks America. These people are dumb. Oh, am I offline? No, I'm online. It's your connection. These people are so dumb. Stupid people should wear signs. Stupid people should wear signs. Wow. So they want to attack the United States over not being able to get a visa to go to Mexico. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, honestly. Gate McKenzie says, we're being made to look like fools. No, you do that perfectly fine on your own. Perfectly fine on your own. Where's the white guy? He's not even in the photo, is he? There he is in the back row. He's in the back row. Gate McKenzie slammed the South African Football Association after Bafana Bafana's departure to Mexico had to be paused over an apparent visa mix-up. They're due to depart on a charter flight from OR Tambo. However, the players cannot leave due to a bungle of some of the players' visas. I've informed SAFA that I need a report and action must be taken against those responsible for this mess. Well, your own department. This SAFA net travel and visa debacle is embarrassing, grossly unfair towards the players and coach staff. I informed SAFA net that I need a report and action must be taken against those responsible for this mess. We will be made to look like fools. Well, stop hiring people based on diversity. You hire competent people. If they're white, they're white. If they're black, they're black. If they're colored, they're colored. Indian. You hire competent people. Not give jobs to caterers because they are black like me. My goodness. There is no medication for stupid. That's right. Opposition parties are teaming up to deny the ANC the impeachment committee chair. The DA don't want the role. Of course they don't, because they're going to back Ramaphosa. They don't want to lose more votes than they have to. The ANC is facing an uphill battle to control Parliament's impeachment inquiry into President Ramaphosa as opposition parties intensify efforts to ensure one of their members chairs a committee that could determine the president's political fate. 31-member committee. They got to pick a chair for it. We don't want another Nkandla movie, said an opposition leader. Well, that's what you're going to get. Opposition parties preparing to resist the move for the ANC to chair it, insisting that only a non-ANC chair can guarantee the credibility, impartiality, and legal defensibility of the process. I don't think even that'll do it. Rise Mzansi's chief whip said discussions began almost immediately after parties were informed Thursday the election of the committee chair would take place on Monday. Several candidates were under consideration, but suggest the ANC and possibly DA were unlikely contenders. ATM leader Vuyo Zungula said the principle is simple. An impeachment inquiry involving the ANC president should be chaired by the opposition. 100%. 100%. 100%. Busisiwe Makwabane urging the Federal Bureau of Investigation to probe into the hidden dollars around Ramaphosa's farm. Well, sweetheart, you need to talk to the U.S. Treasury Department and the Secret Service. They're the ones that handle this, not the FBI. Following a similar move by the DA leader John Steenhuisen, former public prosecutor or protector Busisiwe Makwabene has again requested U.S. law enforcement and financial authorities probe Cyril Ramaphosa's Pala Pala farm scandal. Through the Busisiwe Makwabene Foundation, last week submitted a formal request to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice to launch a criminal investigation against Ramaphosa. The foundation urges the FBI to investigate the origin, transportation, and concealment of U.S. dollars found at Pala Pala. Ramaphosa stated that the stolen money amounted to $580,000, not the $4 million Arthur Frazier claimed. So, as the president has not been open with those people or entities who paid him the U.S. dollars and given the suspicious amount of U.S. dollars that has been found tucked inside furniture, we cannot be certain that this money has not come from a nefarious source within the USA. Within the USA? No, we can't be, but maybe that's why she's using the angle. There's more currency, American currency, stored abroad than there is in America. Yeah, there is. So that money could be coming from everywhere. There's lots of dollars floating around South Africa's economy. Yep. And as such, we request your officers to consider conducting an investigation of the source of the funds and ascertain if the money was brought into the country legitimately. Yeah. But it is the Treasury Department and Secret Service that she needs to contact. Someone should contact the Busisiwe Makwabene Foundation and tell them they need to learn a little bit about the U.S. because they are wrong. You need to go the right way. Okay? Operation Prosper, this is Cyril Ramaphosa's deployment of the military into townships, has seized 5 million. In partnership with the SANDF, law enforcement authorities have seized drugs, firearms, ammunition, and multiple arrests have been made. They've seized firearms, drugs valued at more than 5 million rand, and arrest of dozens of suspects linked to a range of criminal activities. But the violence continues in the Cape Flats. In Bishop Lavis, the 30-year-old man was arrested in Gesigi Street and has been found in possession of firearm, ammunition, and Mandrax tablets. In a separate incident at the Endelovina informal settlement in Khayelitsha, officers arrested a 20-year-old man for unlawful possession of a firearm. Well, there's a lot more to this than that, folks. So, snow, floods alert, and rough seas as winter begins to bite in South Africa. The South African Weather Service is warning of bitterly cold, wet, and windy conditions during the first week of June. While Monday and Tuesday are expected to be partly cloudy and cold, South Africans should brace for a chilly week with snow forecast in several areas. According to the forecaster, very cold conditions and rainfall are expected over the central and eastern interior of the Western Cape. Interesting. 336 years later, South Africa's oldest wine family is still thinking they can go bigger. Thijs Low, a seventh-generation Low of Diemersdal. The wine world has spent decades telling us that small is serious and big is compromise, but South Africa's oldest winemaking family is making the case that the whole argument is wrong. Thijs Low from Diemersdal, from 60,000 bottles a year to 3 million last year. He was named Platter's Winery of the Year. The sixth-generation farmer thinks the wine industry's romance with scarcity is holding it back. Fine wine hinges on generational ownership, he says. South African wine loves romantic story, tiny vineyards, obscure grapes, artisanal scarcity. But he's not convinced. The sixth-generation winemaker's family's been making wine for 336 years, the longest continuous wine lineage in South Africa, believes scale and premium quality are not opposites. And he has 3 million bottles to prove it. Low and his family are direct descendants of the first winemaking family in South Africa after Jan van Riebeck. Jan Burtjie Low made wine in 1660 on the banks of the Liesbeek River, 1 year after van Riebeck's famous proclamation. This makes the Lows of Diemersdal officially the oldest winemaking family in South Africa with the paperwork to prove it. But how can he just be a sixth generation going back to 1600? That doesn't make sense. I'm a 17th generation from 1621. Sauvignon Blanc from Diemersdal. The label needs some work. It's not very sexy. That was a bottle made by his father. Not quite what we'd expect from a seventh-generation Durban wine farmer. He's a decorated water skier in his youth. He competed across the world. Mountain biker. So, oldest wine family in South Africa. Peter Bruce comments on the spat between the DA and the Freedom Front Plus. The key X is the one on the ballot paper, not social media. Another unedifying week on X, and if I were running a political party, I would think about not allowing any ranking member to spontaneously tweet anything other than their schedule, a regular newsletter or podcast, or a considered response to a public tragedy. Data collected by Gareth Von Oslin's Victory Research, the most highly regarded pollster in the country, shows 95% of the electorate either don't know what X is or is hardly ever on it. That's not hard to believe. And this all comes about because the DA attacking Peter Groenewald over the 29,000 parolee abscondees. 17,000 of them been gone since 1991 to 2003. Cash, cattle, and a 7.6 million rand car. Zimbabwe's ruling leader flaunting the wealth of a 500 million rand wedding. They send Harari's exclusive Thorn Park Polo Club for a wedding where more than $500 million in cash, land, cattle, luxury car were gifted to the couple. The groom's father, U.S.-sanctioned tycoon Kundawashe Taguiri, set the tone, giving 33 hectares of prime land worth $245 million and $2.5 million in cash. The lavish display sparked fury in a country where the average person lives on 25 rand a day and government workers earn less than 6,000 rand a month. This guy who's been sanctioned by the U.S. has profited from illicit government contracts valued at billions U.S. dollars, according to the paper. He played a big role in funding the overthrow of Robert Mugabe. For aiding the regime in Harare and derailing economic development and harming the Zimbabwean people through corruption, he's been subject to sanctions from the U.S. Treasury Department Office of Foreign Asset Control since 2020. Wow. Gold dealer Scott Sakupwane, a central figure in the Al Jazeera gold mafia documentary, gave them $500,000. Wikno Chivayo, a person of declared interest in South Africa, offered $250,000 in a designer bag. The Secretary of Zimbabwe's Finance Ministry gave $250,000 plus 25 pregnant beefmaster heifers. Joaquim Chivavo, who skipped bail in South Africa with the smuggling of gold worth $15 million, gave the couple $100,000. So basically, it's just a rogues gallery of criminals, and they're celebrating it by giving lots of unearned wealth to their offspring. Wow. Unbelievable. The Israeli army has captured a strategic castle in Lebanon in the deepest incursion in 26 years. The Israeli troops have captured a strategic mountaintop with a Crusader-built castle in southern Lebanon in the deepest incursion in the country in more than a quarter century. The capture of Beaufort Castle near the city of Natabaya came after days of airstrikes and intense fighting in nearby villages. Its capture marks a major development in the latest Israel-Hezbollah war, which began on March 2nd. The Israeli military's Arabic language spokesman, Achie Adare, posted photographs on X showing Israeli troops walking outside the castle. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz wrote that they raised an Israeli flag over the castle. Israel previously captured the castle in 1982 and held it until they withdrew in 2000. 26 years after withdrawal from the security zone in Lebanon, the Israeli flag has returned to fly in the peaks that overlook the Galilee towns. They intend to hold the castle as its troops work to destroy thousands more homes that they say were used by Hezbollah and other military infrastructure in southern Lebanon. Built as a Crusader castle around the 12th century on top of previous fortifications, it had also been used by Saladin's Jerusalem army, Mamluks, Ottomans, and the French Mandate, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, and the Israeli military, until 2000 when it was partially restored and open to visitors. The Crusaders named it Beaufort, or a beautiful fortress. The United States has fired upon a Gambian-flagged cargo ship as part of the blockade. It's the fifth instance U.S. forces using disabling fire on a commercial vessel since the start of the Iran blockade. U.S. forces fired on a cargo vessel in the Gulf of Oman, damaging its engine in order to prevent it from reaching an Iranian port. In a press statement Saturday, CENTCOM said U.S. forces observed the Gambian-flagged vessel MV Leon Star approaching the Iranian port on May 29th, despite an ongoing U.S. blockade of Iranian ports and maritime trade. According to CENTCOM, those U.S. forces then issued more than 20 warnings that the vessel was operating in violation of the blockade before ultimately moving to disable the ship's propulsion. U.S. aircraft disabled the vessel by firing a Hellfire missile into the ship's engine room. Oof, that's pretty serious. Hellfire, that's what we use on helicopters. Taiwan has flagged 4 Chinese apps over covert data collection. At a press conference on May 27th, the Ministry's Administration for Cyber Security disclosed its findings on navigation app AMAP, video streaming apps Bilibili and IQE, and messaging app Bimobibo. The 4 apps were subject to tests using 50 indicators across 4 categories: real-time monitoring, access data from apps, extracting information from the user device, and data transmission sharing. AMAP, also known as Map, was found to be pose the greatest risk to users, failing 11 of the indicators. So, AMAP is owned by AutoNavi Software, which is part of Alibaba. The Chinese are spying on our devices. Surprise, surprise, that's what you get for buying Chinese crap. Australia will buy only second-hand Virginia-class submarines under the Australia-UK-US agreement. Defense Minister Richard Marles said the trilateral agreement was incredibly complicated and any move to simplify it would be beneficial. In the context of a very complicated endeavor, we need to place a premium on simplicity, and what we have here is a much simpler pathway. It will mean the Virginia-class submarines that we'll be acquiring will all be of the same type. They'll also be used. The original deal, the U.S. and U.K. and Australia would receive a mix of new and used American submarines from the early 2030s. They'll eventually build their own vessels, locally using U.S. nuclear propulsion technology and some parts made in Britain. But the U.S. has been struggling to make enough Virginia-class submarines for its own use, leading some American lawmakers to question how it could also build enough of the vessels to meet Australia's needs. It is a good question. France has detained hundreds after violent clashes following the Paris Saint-Germain Champions League win after North Africans trashed the streets of Paris. Police detained 780 people involved in violent clashes in Paris and other French cities that erupted Saturday night after Paris Saint-Germain won the Champions League title. Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said 57 officers were wounded, with most suffering minor injuries, as football fans set off fires and vandalized shops. One small group even tried to storm a Paris police station. Wow. 480 people in Paris alone were arrested. Yep, mostly North Africans. Not even French. Trashed in France. Bulgaria will end U.S. military aircraft stay owing to a visa dispute. The Bulgarian Prime Minister Rumen Radev said the United States has not granted visa waivers for Bulgarian citizens traveling to America as requested. Bulgaria will not allow U.S. tanker aircraft to remain at Sofia Airport for a prolonged period. Expressing dissatisfaction, the United States has not granted visa waivers for Bulgarian citizens. Back in March, Bulgaria's council ministered to authorize the United States to deploy up to 15 aircraft and up to 500 support personnel for non-military purposes at the Sofia Airport. The country's Government Information Service announced Friday that its agreement has been extended until June 30th, after which U.S. aircraft personnel will no longer be permitted to remain at the airport. The U.S. has a visa waiver program that allows citizens from certain countries to travel to America for business and tourism for 9 days without a visa. Beneficiaries of the program include Australia, Belgium, France, Germany, yada, yada, yada. Bulgaria is not a beneficiary of the program. Yep. So, Bulgarians want access to the country. Some good news. Venice's flourishing flamingo population finding refuge in recovering wetlands. Perhaps nothing better illustrates a flamingo's status as a newcomer to the Venetian lagoon than the fact that the local dialect has no word for them. But the pale pink birds, called fennicoteri in Italian, are now flocking to Venice in record numbers, as ecological efforts to restore damaged wetlands could help expand their habitat and possibly induce them to nest in the lagoon. Flamingos, which most famously nest in Spain and France, started showing up in the vast Venetian lagoon in the early 2000s, mostly in fishing valleys and mudflats in the lagoon's furthest reaches, with only rare sightings in the canaled historic center of Venice that is most frequented by tourists. Environmentalists say their arrival in Venice as European flamingos' range expands the sign of the lagoon's health and suitability as a feeding ground. Last year, the number of wintering flamingos in Venice peaked at a record of 24,000, 6,000 more than the previous year. Wow. A project to reconstruct salt marshes in the more isolated southern lagoon past the historic center in the industrial port raises prospects that flamingo numbers will increase there as well by offering a new habitat in an area of the lagoon where wetland erosion has been especially severe. The Venetian lagoon, covering an expanse of 550 square kilometers, more than 200 square miles, was originally nearly half salt marsh. Today, the area of salt marsh is just 7%, about half of it reconstructed. So, an effort to bring flamingos there. Interesting, to say the least. The flamingos are coming to Venice. Turning our attention here to these United States, Estados Unidos, die Vereinigten Staaten, les États-Unis. 11 confirmed dead in Washington State chemical accident. All bodies have been recovered. The death toll from a chemical tank rupture in the U.S. state of Washington climbed to 11 as crews recovered the bodies of all 9 missing people. 2 fatalities have been confirmed after the tank containing white liquor, a chemical solution of sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide used in making paper pulp, exploded at the Nippon Dynawave packaging facility on Tuesday. Search for the missing carried on through the week as recovery crews worked through debris in indoor areas and flew drones over the perimeter. The ruptured tank contained 900,000 gallons of white liquor, and tests confirmed that contamination entered the nearby Columbia River, although no negative health impacts have been detected on air quality. Nippon Paper Industries, Japan's second largest paper manufacturer by sales, acquired the Longview plant from Seattle-based timber company Weyerhaeuser for $225 million and established the wholly owned subsidiary Nippon Dynawave Packaging in 2016. And now they've polluted America and killed 11 people. The 667-pound clue that the CIA missed. The CIA should have known something was off the moment ex-officer David Rush demanded 667 pounds of gold bullion. Instead of requesting diamonds or rare gems, the far lighter, more mobile currency the agency has long favored for clandestine work, Rush asked for heavy gold bars, a choice a senior CIA official told the Post was an obvious red flag. Now incarcerated in Alexandria, Virginia, lockup and charged with carrying out a massive theft, although it is the spy agency itself facing tough questions about how he was ever allowed to get this far. You tend to go in other directions because it's lighter. Precious jewels are better. Diamonds are better. Former CIA Iran targets officer Rule Mark Geresh told the Post. The security breakdown allegedly allowed Rush, who had top security clearance, top secret, to hoard in stages 303 gold bars valued at $40 million and weighing 667 pounds. He also compiled 3 dozen luxury watches, mostly Rolexes, and $2 million in cash. Scandal is drawing fierce backlash from the Senate Intelligence Committee, now launching aggressive oversight into the agency's loose purse strings and lax vetting. The government says Rush managed to fabricate major parts of his academic and military history, apparently fooling trained probers and hauling away massive amounts of loot without immediately triggering an alarm, in part because the CIA operates on blind trust. He allegedly said the booty was needed for work-related expenses. It's not British banking. You don't have multiple lines of people checking things. The agency is a system that operates largely on trust, and they get burned. It's humiliating for the CIA. It is. Absolutely humiliating. They accused Rush of providing false information about his education on his application to the U.S. government, meaning that it wasn't picked up on his initial background check. Contradictory information allegedly later uncovered in Navy records that apparently also got missed. The affidavit states he applied for work for the feds 3 times using different information each time. Another missed opportunity. Investigators did immediately uncover that he didn't have a pilot's license and then he wasn't a flight instructor. The massive haul of gold and funds were removed between November 2025 and March 2026, meaning they were allowed more than once. Says the CIA alerted the FBI after conducting its own internal probe. Wow. This is embarrassing. The 2001 Government Accountability Report said the agency had not been audited since the 1960s. Wow. President Trump blasts the performers who are leaving his Freedom 250 concert. A wave of concert cancellations for America's 250th anniversary celebrations has upset President Trump to the point that he's considering giving a speech instead. Several musical artists have dropped out of performing at the Freedom 250 concert scheduled to take place from June 25th to July 10th on the National Mall. R&B performer Morris Day, rapper Young MC, country singer Martina McBride, pop group Milli Vanilli, a funk band of Commodores, and Poison frontman Bret Michaels have withdrawn. I understand artists are getting yips having to do their performance on Wednesday, said Trump, so he positioned himself as a potential replacement. I'm thinking about bringing the number 1 attraction anywhere in the world, the man who gets much larger audiences than Elvis in his prime and does so without a guitar, the man who loves our country more than anyone else, the man who some say is the greatest president in history, Donald Trump, to take the place of these highly paid third-rate artists, and gave a major speech. Well, Bret Michaels said, unfortunately, what was presented to us as a celebration of our country is evolving into something much more divisive than what I agreed to part of. Concerns have been raised regarding the safety of my fans, my band, my family, my crew, and myself, including threats that are completely unfounded and unforgivable. Made it difficult to step away. So Bret Michaels is a coward who won't celebrate America. Milli Vanilli singer Jody Rocco told the Associated Press that neither she nor any of the other group members were asked to perform. Milli Vanilli, I didn't know they even existed anymore. It was 2 dudes, one of who offed himself. CC Music Factory, Vanilla Ice, and Flow Rider remain scheduled to perform. Okay. Trump attacks the artists. His U.S. Freedom Concert comes up. I'm warning my representatives look at the feasibility of doing America's Back rally on Wednesday. Yep. Shame. Pete Hegg says that the U.S. is ready to restart strikes on Iran if no deal is reached. Military action remains an option as Tehran and Washington continue talks over ending the war. The United States is preparing to resume military strikes against Iran if negotiations fail to produce an agreement. Our ability to recommence if necessary, we are more than capable, Hegg says today during remarks at the Shangri-La Dialogue Security Conference. In a social media post earlier Friday, Trump outlined what he described as key terms of potential agreement. Well, so Hegseth says we're ready to go back to war. A wave of voter discontent carries Republican Spencer Pratt into striking distance of Los Angeles' ineffective clown and race hustler, Mayor Bass. Tuesday's jungle primary tests depth of dissatisfaction in Democratic-run City of Angels. Republican Spencer Pratt is trying to ride a political change wave into a 2-person runoff against Karen Bass, best known as the bad boy from the MTV reality show The Hills, never heard of it, which he starred in alongside his now wife Heidi Montag. The former reality television star is seizing on a palpable sense that voters are fed up with what they see. The mayoral race has become a referendum on Ms. Bass handling the 2025 wildfires and a record on homelessness. She was busy getting awards in Africa, she's not African, instead of being in California when the fires were going off. Between April 19th and May 16th, Pratt raised $2.72 million, 7 times the $400,000 hauled in by Miss Rahman, and 10 times the $283,000 hauled in by Miss Bass over the same period. The ads are breaking through, getting attention. A meteor exploded over Massachusetts, setting off loud booms, traveling at 75,000 miles per hour, 120,000 kilometers per hour, at an altitude of 40 miles when it broke apart. A meteor crashing toward Earth exploded over the northeastern United States, setting off booms that echoed over the region with a blast equivalent of 300 tons of TNT. The fireball broke up over northeastern Massachusetts and southeastern New Hampshire after 2 p.m. yesterday. The Space Agency's Deputy News Chief Jennifer Doran told the French press agency. This fireball is not associated with any currently active meteor shower, but it is a natural object and not a re-entry of space debris. Energy released at breakup is estimated to be equivalent of 300 tons of TNT. Wow. Good thing it broke up, huh? The Department of Justice reportedly is subpoenaing Reddit for data on critical immigration, those criminal immigration. This is disturbing. The Justice Department has reportedly issued subpoenas to compel Reddit and X to give federal prosecutors the names, address, and banking details of users who have criticized the government's deportation efforts. Well, I have a problem with this. And this is a message to the Trump administration. The U.S. Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free speech, free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech. The Trump administration has no business subpoenaing the names and address of people who are critical of the organization for its actions, unless they make threats. That's a different story. The U.S. Attorney's Office has subpoenaed social media companies as part of a criminal probe seeking personal information about 2 accounts that have rebuked immigration enforcement efforts. Users had not been told what possible offenses are being investigated, but their lawyers believe it could relate to allegations of revealing a federal officer's location. Well, that's legitimate then. That's legitimate. If they dox the federal officer, then they can go after it. X notified the user mid-March that it had received administrative summons to hand over the user's information. So, people are free to use speech, but when they break the law, they're not protected. An Obama-era judge is busted for allegedly having sex with an officer in her chambers. A federal judge appointed by former President Barack Obama is facing renewed scrutiny after a judicial misconduct report described inappropriate conduct that allegedly occurred inside her chambers during a personal relationship with a police official. According to the report, Eleanor Ross, a judge in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, received a private reprimand following an investigation into a relationship with an unidentified police department commander. The Judicial Committee concluded the relationship created what it described as a conflict of interest, risk, and resulted in an uncomfortable work environment for court staff. According to findings outlined in the report, the relationship lasted from 2023 through 2025. The report detailed a gross lack of judgment. Ross, 58, was nominated by the federal bench by Obama and confirmed by the Senate in 2014. Before becoming a federal judge, she served as prosecutor and state judge. The controversy gained additional public attention after reality television personality Todd Chrisley commented on the allegations. Chrisley, who appeared before Ross during his 2022 criminal case involving bank fraud, tax evasion, and wire fraud convictions, publicly criticized the judge after details of the report surfaced. Ross sentenced Chrisley to prison following his conviction, though President Trump later granted him a pardon. This corrupt judge, who couldn't focus on our case because she was too busy clapping dem cheeks in her chambers, needs to be impeached. This misconduct findings were affirmed in May 2020, ordered by the U.S. Court of Appeals. A DEI federal judge appointed by President Obama has received only a private reprimand for repeatedly having sex with a man inside the judge's chambers during court business hours. Judge Eleanor Ross of the Northern District of Georgia agreed to write apology letters. So she has to write apology letters, but she sentenced Chrisley to prison, and she's too busy, bumping nasties. To her colleagues who heard them having sex, she is not asked to resign. The man she had a relationship with is Atlanta Police Deputy Chief Kelly Collier. Judge Ross is married to DeKalb County Judge Brian Ross. She was the first black woman to be nominated to federal judge in the Northern District of Georgia. Well, there you go. There you go. Another Obama failure. So she's married and she's not bumping nasties with the Deputy Police Chief of Atlanta. Wow. What are you going to say? Ron DeSantis has put up a little gimmick here, rolling out property tax savings calculator amid tax relief proposal. Governor DeSantis unveiled a new state website Saturday allowing homeowners to calculate potential savings under his proposed property tax plan, Save Our Homes. The website launch comes 2 days ahead of a special legislative session tomorrow, called by Governor DeSantis to have lawmakers consider a constitutional amendment tied to the proposed property tax plan. Wow. We begin with initial raising of the homestead limit to $250,000 for all Florida homesteaders. Then the legislature commanded to enact a schedule that will lead to the full elimination of the homestead limit. So, they want to get rid of property tax in Florida. I don't have any major problems with that. I'd love to see my property tax go away. It's unfair. This is from his website, Executive Office of the Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor Ron DeSantis announced a special session on property tax relief and unveiled Save Our Homes property tax elimination proposal. Property tax revenue collected by local governments has nearly doubled in the past 7 years from $32 billion to $60 billion, expected to reach an astounding $83 billion by the year 2032. So, there you go. Florida wants to get rid of property tax. I like that. I like that. But they'll get their money one way or another. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the news for today, Sunday, the 31st of May. How are we doing there? Got another super chat came in there. I missed that. The news is over. Now, if you've got silly questions or good questions, you can ask them. Right. Let me go back. I missed this super chat. It's a long time ago. Snippets. Oh, that was from earlier. Okay, so good thing I didn't set a goal for super chats because we wouldn't have made it. The last day of the year. Well, we've got the RefG program. Maybe people will donate on that. But how are we doing? We got a little bit of super chat revenue coming in for thank you for that. Oh, yes, Karen. There's dodgy people all over the world. South Africa doesn't have a monopoly on stupid people. I haven't heard anything about a sheriff shooting anybody in any place. Posted no refugee questions, kind of few lines up. People need to respect requests not to do so. Well, just give them timeouts, Chris. Give them a 5-minute timeout the first time they do it. The first time they don't listen. First Amendment. No refugee questions. Okay. Yes, Chugsy, you know when you're near a paper mill. There's a paper mill south of me, a good ways, thank goodness. I never would have lived here if I'd known there's a paper mill. But I mean, it's far enough away. But when I go down towards that town, oh, it reeks. It's really horrible. Mike says, great interview earlier. Girl was raised right. Well done, Utopi. I got hooked on German white wine. Oh, so am I. I love German white wines. Colonel said they need a better label on that wine. Absolute truth. Mark research says 85% of consumers report having purchased a wine and a heavy red wine lover. Okay. I'm not a big wine lover. Got some South African wine in the house, but I never drink it. Switched to dry red wine because it was too difficult to keep white wine cold when camping. Ah, okay. Twinkle says, government workers want bribes for almost every service you request, even if you pay for the service. If you don't, they won't provide service. Exactly. Jasper says, people from far away that have come to Joburg for medicals or interviews can hit us up. They need a place to stay or sleep for a night or two. Okay. Sorry, I got a cut there on my finger, and it's very distracting. Namakawa wine started with 5-liter wine. Good Lord, that's a big bottle. What else we got here? When will what farm be expropriated? Oh, the Demersdal. I don't know. And don't forget to, the auspices, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, please do, folks. 391, is that right? Let's see how many people are actually here. 376 people currently here. 387. I get different data from every different source here on YouTube. Give me different data all across the board. What's that? Loretta says, thank you, Colonel, for the news every day for your loyalty and compassion. Yes, Loretta, good to hear from you. I haven't checked in on your daughter this last day or two. Sent you an email yesterday with the title, Another Smear Campaign Includes Screenshots for You. Yeah, okay. Is that about me? Someone attacking me? Let me see. Look at my printer and see if I printed this message out already before I go printing it again. Okay. No, I did not. Okay, so let me print this one. Print that. Yes, despite the lies of the gentleman, I did not behave the way that video shows. That's an edited video. You can go back and watch the live stream. It's there. I did laugh. I made fun of the ANC's lack of responsibility and how it's turned the country into a place where even its cadres are attacked. Yeah, and oh, by the way, now Lady Pandora is a public figure. She's not a private citizen, so I'm not laughing at the tragedy. In fact, see, that person is a vile, repulsive piece of human sludge who traffics in this stuff. You should go and report bullying, harass, also threaten my business. He is a vile person, and one day courts will come for him. So yeah, just go report that. Way visas work from Mexico for South. If you have a valid U.S. visa, you can enter Mexico on that. There was no mistake. It was done on purpose to try to take a jab at propaganda at the U.S. Okay, Terry, I'm not surprised by that. Yep, see, they took a jab at the United States. Let me check on that. So, let me check on that. So let me just do a check. If you have a valid visa to enter the USA, can you also use that to enter Mexico? Yeah, you don't need one. There you go. I didn't know that, Terry. Thank you for that information. Yep, another propaganda jab at the U.S. government. Beulah Melvin says, thank you for the news. And thank you, Otto George Bossingthwaite. Thank you for the 35 Rand. And Snippet says, kindly please remember my message. Which message, Snippets? Email, super chat, Twitter? Oh, boy. Anyway, yeah, I saw it, Heinrich. I found the email. Yeah, Heinrich is well aware. You watch the live stream. Yeah, exactly. So that's just altered content. Then he lies and claims it's not altered content. It is altered content. It's not even me laughing. Silent joke. What do you think about the U.S.? What integration? What are you talking about that? There's no such thing. We're not integrating our military with Israel. Where did you hear that at? Mr. Echo, thank you for 140 Rand Super Chat. Appreciate that. 5 March application, 7 April first call, 8 April 1st, 9 fingerprints. You talking about in 2026, Bambi? No, Leslie, okay, let me explain what I mean, don't bother with. I'm talking about the people who spend WhatsApp. I'm not finding WhatsApp unless this is... Okay. You need to send me a message in WhatsApp right now and tell me your snippets, okay? Okay, because when I look up snippets, I get something else. No, don't apologize, Bam. I just want to make sure you're talking about 2026 because 2025 would not have been an application. Daisy Girl just gave her 200 Rand. Thank you for that. So, Leslie, let me be clear on this, okay? What I'm talking about with the portal is people who gaze at the portal and check it every 5 minutes and every day. And, oh, my gosh, it's gone from this, it's gone to that, it's gone from this. Stop doing that. I didn't say never check the portal. It's like the WhatsApp groups and the Facebook page. It's okay to check these things occasionally, but most of the time you just cause yourself grief because people are spreading nonsense in there. So what I have to say about this specifically, Leslie, is that go ahead and check your portal. Okay, I mean, it's your prerogative. I'm just saying don't gaze at it all the time and go, oh, nothing's happening. You know, a watch pot never boils. That's my point. Okay, I hope that's clear, Leslie. I apologize if you misunderstood. Yeah, Charles just said, do not watch my case every 5 minutes. Exactly. Jalopy, what's up? Thank you, Daisy Girl, for 200 Rand. This week I have lots of homework on requested paperwork. Things are racing ahead. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you for that. Yeah, appreciate that. So, yeah, Hendo says the portal does my head in. Yep. Yep. And thank you all for the super chats. A little bit coming here. Okay. Okay. Must be something that's worrying a lot of patriots because reputational independent outlets are reporting it. Reporting on what, Silent Joe? What did I miss here? Oh, okay. I was on Al Jazeera. I didn't see anything like that. Al Jazeera, U.S. Congress advanced U.S. military integration plan. Okay, they're misusing the word integration here. That's the problem. So, okay, thank you for that. I didn't see this in Al Jazeera. So this is on Al Jazeera. Provision, the 2027 draft U.S. defense bill could bind the two countries' weapons industries closer than ever. This is from yesterday. The proposal titled the United States-Israeli Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative appears in Section 224 of the House Armed Services version of the National Defense Authorization Act. If enacted, the provision would mark a significant change in one of the world's closest military relationships, shifting the two countries from partnerships centered largely on useless military aid towards one in which the defense industries are more deeply intertwined. A new section of the law of the National Defense Authorization that would give Israel unprecedented access to American technology would force the United States military to integrate Israeli defense technologies into our own critical military supply chain. Okay, so this is very misleading. This is about defense technology and industrial production. It's not about the military's integrating. See, that's just all media get it wrong. We're not integrating with the Israeli forces. This is just nonsense. This is defense production. You can agree with or disagree, but that is not. Integrate U.S. and militaries. We're not integrating our military. That's a misuse of the term. That's fraudulent. There's no integration. No U.S. forces being put under Israeli command. No U.S. forces are part of an Israeli unit, and vice versa. That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But that's what the word implies. The word integrate implies U.S.-Israeli military integration implies that the U.S. military is being put into the Israeli or vice versa. That's utter nonsense. You see, people, and this is all in the media. So CBS and Al Jazeera can run that story, but they're lying. It's a misstatement. Yep. Anything exciting happening? I haven't thought about the week yet. Not worrying me at all, Silent Joe. The Israelis were the ones in the lead. When we designed the Pioneer UAV back in the late 1980s, we relied on Israeli technology and advice. Because we didn't have UAVs. Exactly. The Afro-Americana Online says some peeps are in the USA already. In my case, portal's not updated, so it's difficult to watch portal. Exactly. Well, in fact, that was the case with Mad Max, if I remember correctly. I think Mad Max... Where's Mad Max at today? Max has just disappeared on us. I mean... Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was you. I'm going to... Okay, thank you, Snippets. Thank you. I've got it. I'm going to edit that, so I didn't realize that was you. Okay. Okay, that helps me. All right, so what am I supposed to look at in your account? Oh, I did ask you to send me this. Yeah, I forgot about that. And yes, I am overwhelmed, but I'm going to download this now. Thank you for that, Snippets. Thank you for the reminder. I appreciate people who are considerate and don't get angry at me when I forget things or I don't get around to them. I need to activate. I've got this app. Let me activate it now. that allows me to, where's it at? Handy. Let me open it up. Okay, cool. Let me see. Let me try this now. So I use Word. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens here. New document. Okay. Okay. So how do I get this to work now? I forgot how to use this. I used it before. Oh, control space. That's what it's, control space. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. It is Sunday, May 31st, 2026. Didn't work. Sunday, May 21st, 2026. And this is a reminder for me to review the document that Snippet sent to me. Thank you. Okay, now it did something, but it's all white. What the hell? No, there's nothing there, so it's not working properly. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, I got this app handy, which is supposed to, and it worked the first time I did it. It was from Parakeet. Yep. Yep. Huh. So it just didn't work there. Interesting. Anyway, I'll figure that out later on. So, yep. But that's what I need. I need something where I can just, it starts, annotating the things I say. Madeline, thank you for your membership. Appreciate that. Arno hasn't seen the bugger off bunny. Well, you haven't been paying attention. We used it. You're welcome, Joey, for the news. Loretta says, exactly. Since all our things have gone back in progress, we stopped looking at it because it just upsets you. Yeah, exactly. Meerkat says, when I send you news updates, I forget to use my username. That helps, guys, if you tell me that in the subject line if it's an email. Snippets, I got it now. Now I've saved that. I know it'll sit in my head. Mad Max is on the clock. Right now he's working on a Sunday. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, there you go. Pizza Party, you can mail me your case, but I don't control cases. I don't work for the U.S. government. I mean, I can only send that stuff onto a U.S. government email and hope that somebody pays attention. I can't. And here's the thing. I get people who get mad at me. I've sent you this 3 times. Are you going to do something about it? I already did something about it, but you didn't tell me. Yeah, because I don't get any feedback. I don't get fed information from the U.S. government on whether someone looked in your case. They can't do that. I can't interfere in your case. And them communicating with me about your case would be them interfering in your case. So, and I don't even know if they get it. But I do know there's a very strong correlation on cases that have got particular problems where suddenly things get sorted out. I mean, that's anecdotal, but I have no evidence of that. So you can take it for whatever you want. You can believe it or disbelieve it, okay? Yep. You can't all be on the same flight. There's hundreds of thousands of people, and planes only accommodate a few hundred max, unless it's an A380, and even then it's not as much as you think it is. So we are going to do the Refugee Cafe Clutch today. That's coming up a little bit later. So, yep. All right, so that's coming up in an hour, the Refugee Cafe Clutch, and we should be redirected to that. Sorry, I had to bend over and pull the cord out of that. So let me just see if I've got that redirected. I think I did. I could be wrong. I was wrong earlier. Redirect. Yeah. Oh, no, you're not redirected. You're redirected to Ronaldo's stream, so I didn't redirect to my stream. Look at that. Unselfish of me sending you to Ronaldo instead of sending to myself. We're getting close to 127,000 subscribers. Can we get there? Yep. So that only my wife and I will travel. Well, you'll tell that when you go see them, Charles. You're going back there, so just tell them then, because they don't answer emails for the most part. Varoshka says, I had to take calls in the middle of meetings. Awkward, but important to take them. Yep. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yep, Charles says I will do that. That's what you do. I mean, that's you have. If you've got any questions or issues or things you've got to tell these people, have a list of all that stuff. Take it with you, and then when you see them, say, "Hey, you don't answer email. I can't call you, so you need to know this. These people are no longer going. My husband wants to go. I'm going." While the wait is distressing, I'm grateful for the extra time with my family and friends, says Beulah. Rose says, by the time I reach America, I've achieved enlightenment with the amount of patience I've had experience. Okay. I got where you're coming from there. I appreciate it. It's not so easy. It's a lot to ask for. Anyway, so we had that interview earlier with Shannon Tierney. That was lovely. Are your lights flickering or are my lights flickering? Did I miss that? Boy, the reality check I did yesterday seems to be resonating as a short. My good shorts get about 20,000 views, and this one's at 19,000. Picked up 35 subscribers from them. I'm surprised. Let me look at some of the comments on Reality Check here. Let's go to newest, okay? Okay, love your articles, but your spelling bottom left-hand corner should be damn, not damn. Huh? Spelling bottom left-hand corner. What's spelling? There's no spelling here. What's spelling? God bless it, that's sharp. He's talking about the sign back here. That's not my spelling. That's a commercial sign. Had friends who went over after 3 weeks, got the first job, been there for 2 months now, bought a vehicle, busy moving their own house, saw cost of living so much cheaper in comparison. They go away every weekend. Well, that's cool. That's good for you to share that. We are unsafe in South Africa. Don't listen to fools, Chris. We have proof of what's happening in South Africa with MK and Julius Malema even going to get worse. Thank you for believing in us and support us. You're welcome. Sounds like sour grapes and perhaps someone being paid to spread disinformation. Mara says, tired of all the lies. You are always reporting the truth. Someone says those Facebook groups are toxic. Yep. Someone says algorithm comment. Yep. Thank you for that. Someone encouraging people to go to Australia, but it's hard to get in Australia. Mr. Wyatt, thank you for the hard work that you've done to help a lot of people. I think a lot of leftists who hide the program post false accusations, try to disrupt your work and attempt refugee program to fail. Do not pay attention to them. In 2 months, me and my family have landed in one of the safest areas in Ohio. My eldest is in school and adapting very quickly. I've landed a very good job that blows the one I had in South Africa water. We have bank accounts, all our required documents, our medical screenings, vaccinations are done, bought a car, and we are fully up and running in 2 months. If you come here with a game plan and follow the rules, you'll make it and then some. If you come here looking for a free ride, get ready for a kick in the nuts. So post is utter nonsense. America is the promised land, but you have to do your part. Exactly. Well said, Paul. Hi, Chris. Can't you interview someone to shed light on the lost cases 2025? Well, who can I interview? Who am I going to interview? Someone from the U.S. government? They're not going to come on camera. The person does not have good intention. I don't know why anyone possibly the first world country is somehow more difficult to navigate than one of the most violent countries on the planet. Well said. We've been in the USA for almost 2 months. We received everything that was promised us. We received an apartment in a very nice neighborhood. We've found work already to make a great life for ourselves. Our children are in school that's absolutely fantastic. We take responsibility for our own future. And through the refugees program, it is definitely easier. Our caseworker team is fantastic. I have nothing bad to report. This amazing opportunity. Thank you for that, for sharing that. So this one says, some came over to here receive phones. The group before us was the last to receive. When we arrived 2 weeks back, they told us we can't give phones as they don't have any more. I didn't throw a tantrum and sit and cry in a corner. I'll make it work with the phone. Yeah, well, the phones, okay, unless you've got an agency that had their own stockage of phones, they don't have phones. They go out and buy one for you off your current money. So I don't understand that at all. But I appreciate the guy's not complaining. Please do not give these dishonest messages any time. You have been completely clear about every aspect you report on. Your advice is valuable to all those who are committed to starting a new life. They are sadly vengeful and dishonest, nasty people who do not see the sun shine over anyone except themselves. Indeed. Indeed. Yep. It's not easy to see people leave South Africa. As a South African, I've seen many friends and family members leave for years, and it never gets easier. But I'm happy to see the people dear to me are safer than here. Yep. People are talking crap because it was Trump who stepped in to help us. If Biden had done absolutely nothing, would have been said. Spot on. Spot on there. I just would wish South Africa should only be placed in red states. Well, that's a misnomer. Okay, please do not put links in here to other people's channels, promoting their channels. South Africans do see it. All I can say is it's not easy. You get a combination for 2 months. After that, you're on. You don't get a combination for 2 months. You got to stop with this nonsense. There's no such thing as a combination for 2 months. Ladies and gentlemen, that's simply not true. That's simply not true. You don't get anything. You get grant money. That grant money is used to secure a place for you to stay. Every circumstance is different. If you spend 6 weeks in a hotel, then you're not going to have enough money to do other things. Hotels are expensive. If you arrive and you go into your apartment immediately and you've got a family of 5 children and 2 adults, guess what? You got $14,000. Even in expensive places, that's going to last a while. Even at $3,000 a month for rent, that's going to take you to 4 months. Most places cost $1,450. Let's say $1,500 a month is an average. We'll go $1,500. $1,500 times 2, 3,000 times 4 is 6,000. Times 6 is 9,000. Of the $14,000 a family of 7 would have, 9,000 can be devoted to their housing for 6 months. And if in that 6 months you can't get yourself sorted, then you shouldn't have come here. Okay? So it's all different. Every case is different. Whoever the fool is that's complaining on behalf of people they do not know and cannot name, there are no handouts, seems to be giving away their own reason that they are not trying to get in the program. Anyone entering the program because they're expecting handouts is entering for the wrong reason. They need to ask themselves 2 important questions. Did they receive handouts in their own country? Bingo. And why do they believe any other country should give them handouts? Yeah, I can't believe South Africans feel that way. There are some that feel that way, like we owe you something. We don't owe you or Somalis or Kyrgyz anything. People enter a program like this because they want to escape persecution. Exactly. Well said, Mike. Refugees are also taken care of medically when in a car accident. If this was South Africa, I would probably be ignored, denied medical care, and robbed at the scene and left for dead. Yep. I want my sons and I to have a life. We have none here. This is what someone said. Here you go. Each case is unique due to multiple factors. Exactly. Well said, Jakes. Why are you still calling these people refugees? Call them people who want to seek a better life elsewhere. People in Gaza are refugees. Lebanon's refugees. White South Africans are not white South Africans, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry about that, Elsa, but you're factually wrong. They are refugees. And if that insults your character or insults your personality, that's your personal problem. They've entered America not as immigrants. They've entered America not on a visa to work. They've entered America not at the invitation of the U.S. government other than as a refugee. They're refugees. Simple as that. Why am I still calling that? In fact, I frequently say new arrivals for people who've been here for a while. Let the liars lie. If they don't lie, they're unemployed again. You know, Colonel Wyatt, the unemployment rate is high here in South Africa. Some people get desperate, so they're just doing their job, spreading some good old lies. Just rather tell the truth or maybe just don't know. Well, thank you for that, Chantel. Okay. Anyway. So there's a lot more. A lot of comments on that. There was a lot of comments for a video that got about 19,000 views. So that was a short I did yesterday. In the midst, by the way, in my neighborhood was a yard sale yesterday. My neighbors were all selling things, but I couldn't do that. Not because I don't want to get rid of things, but because the yard sale was scheduled on a Saturday when I've got URC. So it was only from 8 until 12, 4 hours. So you can't just have it any time because of covenants and restrictions. You can't have people just piling into neighborhoods. So it was yesterday, and I had 3 rugby games, 2 in the morning, and that took me from 7 a.m. until 11:30. So I couldn't do a yard sale. If you made a mistake in your application sending, what do? You just wait until they contact you, Garrett. You wait until they contact you. I know you asked that question 3 or 4 times during the news. I'm seeing it now. You wait. You can't change it. And don't submit another one because you're just going to cause problems for yourself. I've already talked to people who did that. Oh, there's Mad Max. On the track for the first time. What is this? So here's a criminal injury case waiting to happen. Mad Max, I didn't see this one. So here you go. So this is from that turd Johan Sloat de Villiers. Jenny Makiwa says, who is he? A patronizing racist, unemployed Trump idiot American who makes several videos per day criticizing and assaulting South Africa, the president, the people, etc. I won't stand for it. What is the connection? I'm trying to figure out why he would even care. Well, Jenny, the fact that you follow a retard like this guy here shows that you're not a serious person. Why don't you go check out my channel? You'll find out that this guy has just committed criminal injury and defamation of character, and that's a prosecutable offense in South Africa. Is my friend the attorney here? You don't have to identify yourself. I've saved that for the case. There's another one for the case. All right, yep. So this guy is going to find it's very costly to act like such a deuce. Going to find it's very costly to act like such a fool. Yep. So, yep. Stupid people should wear signs. So he just keeps making himself, he just can't help himself. He just can't help himself. So a racist, really a racist. See, this is so stupid. You're welcome, Garrett. It's just so stupid. These people that say this, they call you a racist. Why? Because I criticize people rightly who fail? That doesn't make me racist. They don't call me, you notice, I criticize John Steenhuisen, and rightly so. And they still call me a racist? Okay, Mad Max, I was looking at your account when I saw that. That's an older one I didn't see. Oh, cool. Oh, I can play these videos. Okay. Thank you.
Already.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Hang on, let me download it. Why won't it download? Okay. Save as. There we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you this, guys. Okay. Now, this is an adorable child. I don't know how Mad Max got so lucky. Here you go. This is my buddy when I was down in Virginia. Look at that. They made near the park there, a place for them to ride their bikes. Check it out. As I recall, someone gave you guys this bike, right? Okay. Okay, so let me get to this one now. Hang on.
Already.
Okay, this is about 20 seconds, so let me put this one here, over here. All right, here we go.
Already.
Check that out. That's cool.
Go a little bit faster.
Yeah, fall down to skin and knee. She's got no knee pads on, no elbow pads. Got a helmet, though. Check it out.
Well done, baby. Faster. Go. Go fast. Go uphill.
Go faster.
Yeah. Well.
Wait a second. Isn't that like a black guy up there? Wow. I mean, I thought there was a race war in America. Yes, that is the same guy that boycotts Steve Hofmeyer. But what he's done is he's dug himself a grave. Yep. Yeah, definitely not Marley's. Yeah, be careful riding a bike there, Silent Joe. You could be like Marlies. Oh, Safa, I have taken action against a few people. I have. I've taken legal action against a couple people. So, yep. He's in the Netherlands part of the year, not the whole year. No, the fact that his channel actually gets attention. See, that's the thing. These losers, if they just actually came and watched this channel, they would see that it's not true. But, you know, people want to be closed-minded. First off, anybody that falls for that video and believes that's the case is just foolish. As I mentioned earlier when I said, just watch the video. Who was it? Or was it Heinrich? I think earlier said, I watched the video live. Yep. Yep. A racist that help African countries. The ignorance of the clowns. Exactly, Neil. Okay. It's so lovely to see a child free to enjoy themselves without fear. Indeed. Indeed. Yep. Alrighty, guys. Oh, Miss V just gave 50 Rand. Well, thank you for that, Miss V. Thank you for that. Very kind of you. Boy, some reason YouTube, the chat doesn't work over here. It doesn't update. I don't know why. That's weird. In the studio. Now it's doing it. Yes, the black kid was clapping and encouraging her. Obviously, America's descending into racial chaos. Exactly. Exactly. So we'll have the Refugee Cafe Clutch coming up at the top of the next hour. But in the meantime, I'm going to break contact here at the risk of losing people. Should I stay a little bit longer? You guys want to hear a song before we go? Anybody want to hear a song? You know, we've been writing a lot of songs lately. So the one I played earlier was about the Irish shanty about Little Ronnie Lamola. Little Ronnie Mullins, Human Rights for Humans. Well, it won't be much of a rest. I got to clean up in my studio, so I got to work on that. So, now, ladies, the expropriation. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah. Funny how the rules all change when the drama hits your gate. Ain't that rich? Every night the dogs were barking, everybody slept half awake.
Images of Meghan Trainor in my head.
Just trying to make it through the day. Mama said lock all the windows, Daddy checked the doors twice more. Neighborhood WhatsApp blowing up, another family hit next door. Black, white, and brown together, regular folks just getting by. Praying sirens meant protection instead of just another drive-by. People beg for intervention, cried on TV, wrote petitions, but nobody up in power really seemed to listen. But now it matters, now it's serious, now they're shocked and all delirious. Suddenly crime's a national conversation. Funny little case of ladies' expropriation. They shrugged when ordinary people cried. Now they're horrified somebody stole their ride. Oh, now the panic's sweeping the nation. Welcome to the home invasion.
Oh, must be a racist making this song.
Live defensive, bars on windows, electric wire. Kids grew up hearing helicopters, mama whispering, stay low, stay quiet. The cops would take the statement, file the papers nice and neat. Then another house got empty, just another headline in the street. But wait a minute, stop the presses. This one climbed the party wall. TV's gone and laptops missing, phones and car and all. Now the cameras gather quickly, now the ministers look grim. Amazing how a problem grows when it finally reaches them. Now it matters, now it's urgent. Now the speeches sound detergent. Everybody's promising salvation after ladies' expropriation. Oh, the irony's delicious, baby. Karma got suspicious lately. Now they're preaching law and restoration after the home invasion. Oh no, not the Toyota. Call it task force. Deploy special units. Girl, the people been asking for that for years. Regular staffers stood their ground while fear kept kept making rounds, but nobody heard the desperation. Till the burglars hit the administration. Now it matters. Now they see it different too. Now that they feel it. Funny how perspective changes stations with a little expropriation. Now, lady, welcome to the story where the people lack the glory. Maybe now there'll be some realization about the home invasion nation. Ooh, funny how fast priorities change when the burglars know your name.
Here's an old favorite.
Whatever. Hop to the left, Bunny's on the scene. First so clean, move sharp, he's mean. Eyes like fire, trolls start to quake. Mess with the bunny,
Big mistake.
Stagger off, bunny protector of peace. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Bugger off, bunny protector of peace. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Connell's right hand and ear standing tall. One thumb from the foot sends him through the wall. Carrots in the pocket, wisdom in his paw. Trolls see the bunny, drop their jaw. Bounce, 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 the rhythm don't stop. Trolls try to climb but the bunny's on top. Guarded the garden, defender of the land. The bugger off bunny with the master plan. Bugger off bunny. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Swift as a shadow, silent in the night. Trolls meet the bunny, then they take flight. Ears like antennas, catching every sound. The bugger off bunny, king of the ground.
The Bugger Off Bunny. That's an all-time classic, and now you know this one. You know it. Keep those FEMA tents off my lawn. Stay off my lawn!
It's not a campsite. No FEMA tents, no late night fights. No refugees, no wild parades. This castle's mine, no renegades. Hit the road, Jack, don't spin me tales. Your liberty's lost like rusty nails.
Stay off my lawn! Keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong.
No fires,
No songs, sorry not sorry. Stay off my lawn.
Keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong. No fires, no songs. Sorry not sorry, stay off my lawn.
If you were on my lawn, it would be glamping.
Sorry not sorry, stay off.
Only glamour camping here.
Drying laundry on my hedge fence. Drawing crowds with your nonsense. This ain't a stage, it's my domain. Take your drama down the lane. Pitch your tent where the shadows fall. Not on my grass, not by my wall. No soapbox speeches, no rally calls. This yard's a fortress you can install. Stay
off my lawn. Keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong,
No fires,
no songs. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn.
keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong. No fires, no song. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn. My lawn, my lawn. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn. My lawn.
Gonna play one more after this, and it's a favorite. The pot boils over. DJ Silver Eagle on a Sunday. Stay off my lawn.
Stay off my lawn. Keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong. No fires, no song. Sorry, not sorry. Stay off my lawn. Keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong. No fires, no song. Sorry, not sorry.
My goodness, it's Stephanie Hatzemichael. Where have you been?
Sorry, not sorry. Off my lawn, my lawn. My lawn, my lawn. Sorry, not sorry. Off my lawn, my lawn.
All right, folks, here's the final piece. The pot boils over on DJ Silver Eagle on a Sunday, May 31st, 2026, right here on Radio Afterlife. And that was Stay Off My Lawn. Oh, yeah! The pot boils over!
Water's rising slow and hot. The frog's still dreaming in the pot. Steam whispers secrets to the air. Do you jump or do you dare? Tick tock, the heat won't stop. The lid shakes like it's gonna pop. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot. The pot boils over, like it or not. Cyril's cards fell just as planned. He dealt the aces, played his hand, but the crowd's awake, their voices loud. A restless wave, a roaring crowd. Tick tock, the time runs thin. Boiling point, it's sink or swim. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot. The pot boils over, like it or not. Pot boils over. Pot boils over, like it or not. Pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot. The pot boils over, like it or not. Pot boils over. 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 Pot boils over, like it or not.
I lied. I said that was the last one. We got one more here, folks, because people think that I hate South Africa. Little racist, the black supremacists, and the hate wankers say that I hate South Africa. So one more, just one more we're going to play here before we wrap up and then go to the refugee broadcast, folks. And you guys know this one, don't you? Don't you know this one? That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for Save South Africa. Because I hate South Africa, don't I? Isn't that what they say? These little hate wankers, these pathetic little losers who only get their jollies by bringing down other people. We all know the truth. I love South Africa. Save South Africa.
Sunsets and skies so blue, mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave and weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know. We know.
And Stedman Hunts at the end. All right, folks, there you go. So save South Africa. Oh, coming from somebody that hates South Africa. Well, these stupid people. They're stupid nonsense. You can't take them seriously. You can't take them seriously. All right, we'll be back in about 40 or 25 minutes with congrats, Mad Max. Congrats. Yeah, Pro Vip Boy. I did that one last year when I was in South Africa after just being heartbroken over what was happening. I came out with that song. And you should see the Caledon one where I do the zip line. That's pretty cool. All right, see you shortly, guys, for the refugee stream at the top of the hour. You'll be redirected to Ronaldo's program right now. Let's see how many people got Ronaldo before you leave here and go over there. A lot of people left already. I think they've already gone over to Ronaldo, or they've stopped watching TV. Did Ronaldo not go live? Where's he at? Why is he not showing up there? There, Ronaldo. Okay. He is live. Let's see how many people he's got right now.
More.
He's got 156. Let's see if we can't send him some more people. Thanks, folks. Cheers. We'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.